Starting an e-commerce business seems like a very lucrative opportunity, but that's only if you're doing it in the right way and if you have the correct strategy behind you. I have clients who run e-commerce businesses who do extremely well every single month with their sales. And I also know people as well who run e-commerce businesses that are just simply not doing that well at all because they don't have the right strategy behind them. So in this video, I want to help you to understand the e-commerce business a little bit better. Maybe you're thinking about getting into the e-commerce business. Maybe you already have a product that you would like to sell or an idea of a product. This video is going to break down some of the things that you really need to keep in mind in order to run a successful e-commerce business. I'm going to be speaking about some of the things that I share with my clients who are literally now running successful e-commerce businesses, so you guys kind of get behind the scenes access to what I share with them. So first and foremost, I want to break down the different types of e-commerce businesses because there's so many out there and you might even be confused as to what business model you want to focus on. So firstly, you have what's known as thrifting, and I had done a video quite a few years ago now with Texas Gal Treasures. I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. Her channel is all focused around thrifting. She thrifts on websites such as Etsy, eBay, and so on and so forth. And that's basically when you try to find bargains either online or offline, and you're doing retail arbitrage. So you're trying to buy something at a cheaper price and then reselling it for a bigger price somewhere else. And that can be a full-time business. It can be very lucrative for some people. It is very hands-on though. And if you're not really interested in that, then it can drain you because you're constantly having to find new products and create listings and kind of run that aspect of the business. You also have dropshipping. Now, dropshipping has been popularized in recent years because of the hands-off approach. You know, you can literally create a listing for a product that you don't own, you don't have in your inventory, and then when someone buys it, you buy it from the supplier and you send it straight directly to the customer. Now, dropshipping has gotten really advanced to the point where there are some dropshipping companies who kind of do all of the buying for you. So all you have to do is create a website and you have all dropshipping products on your website. And when someone buys, that connects directly to the dropshipping company and they send the product directly to your customer. So literally all you have to do is create your website and market it, and all of the order fulfillment happens automatically. So that can be great. I don't personally teach a lot of dropshipping stuff on this YouTube channel because the business model is just not necessarily something that I cling to that well. You also have print on demand. This is something that I highly recommend to do if you are looking for like a really hands-off approach, but also looking for a really reliable supplier. So print on demand is basically when you just upload your design. So maybe you're really good at graphic design or you got a couple of designs in mind. You can upload your designs to, you know, websites such as Redbubble, for example, and you can sell your products on those marketplaces. And once your product or your design sells on a mug or on a t-shirt or on a pencil case or whatever it is, you actually receive your finances and that company. So if you was going with Redbubble, for example, Redbubble will send your product out to your customer, and it's a hands-off approach and it's a really great way of earning passive income. Now, I did do a collaboration video with a company called Printify. I'll leave that video in the description down below. And with Printify, you can actually create your own website and Printify will do all of the fulfillment for you. So it's similar to websites such as Redbubble and Amazon Merch, but the only difference is it's your dedicated website and you can upload basically your products to your website. And what happens is when someone comes to your site and makes a purchase of a design that you've created, maybe it's a design on a mug or a design on a pencil or whatnot, then Printify will actually fulfill that order for you. So it can be a really great way, similar to dropshipping, to create passive income, and all you have to worry about is promoting your site. And then you have things such as marketplaces. So this is selling on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and this can be very lucrative and it can be a really great start for those of you you who maybe haven't really gotten into the e-commerce game yet, this is where I got my start online. And this is where I recommend a lot of people to start as well. So platforms such as Etsy, Amazon, and eBay all have a really great reputation. And there's also a lot of internal traffic that's already on those platforms. So people already go to those platforms to look for products. And if you have a product that you know is high in demand, and if you put it on one of those platforms, chances are you can do quite well and you can generate yourself a healthy income. Now, there's loads of different ways that you can actually go and market yourself on these platforms. There's one YouTuber called Success with Sam that I've been watching for quite some time now, and his videos are really great. So if you're looking at starting an eBay business, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description down below. Make sure you go and check his YouTube videos out. But one of my favorite models for e-commerce is when you actually set up your own website and you have your own products. So your products are in your inventory and you're selling those products direct to consumer. So this requires you to actually know what platform you want to build on. It requires you to understand a little bit about marketing, and that's what I teach on this YouTube channel. And it's a really hands-on approach, but also you can benefit from higher profits as well, because you're not sharing your profit with any kind of platform. You're doing it all yourself. Now, the first question that often people ask me is, Sam, what's the best platform if I'm going to actually start selling my products on my own website? And it really depends. I don't think there's any one platform that if you choose, you're going to be successful, because the platform is only the beginning. It's really about what you're doing with that platform. I definitely know entrepreneurs who have, you know, Squarespace e-commerce businesses, and they're doing tens of thousands of pounds every single month in their business. And then there's people with websites on BigCommerce or WordPress who are literally doing zero. So the platform is only half the battle. You actually need to know how to market that website in order for your e-commerce business to be successful and to grow. My personal favorite platform for e-commerce at the moment is Shopify. This is because, in my opinion, Shopify is really robust. It allows you to do everything that you need to do with regards to running your e-commerce business. Second to Shopify is actually WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce is a platform that comes free when you have a WordPress website. In order to have a WordPress website, you need to actually have hosting. I'll leave a link in the description down below to Hostinger. They have sponsored a lot of videos on this channel. They're not sponsoring this one, but their prices are really competitive. And a lot of people who have purchased a Hostinger package through my affiliate link have been happy so far. So I'm definitely going to be doing more collaborations with them. But yeah, if you want to start a WordPress website, I'll leave links to Hostinger in the description down below. It's very simple and easy to install yourself a WordPress website using Hostinger, and I've also got a tutorial on that I will leave in the description as well. That being said, there are other platforms that you can kind of utilize as well to help you to build and start your e-commerce website. Platforms such as Squarespace, platforms such as Wix are really good as well. I prefer Squarespace to Wix only because the designs are really simple. There are a few people who complain that the designs are limited, but I like the fact that you can create a really clean website that looks professional in a very short space of time. Wix, I know they have the ADI design now, which kind of helps and allows you to quickly create a well-designed website with their template. If you're not a graphic designer and you just don't have that design eye, then I would recommend going with Squarespace, because they make everything super easy for you to kind of put your website together in no time whatsoever. Now, I want to focus the rest of this video on those of you who are planning on selling products on your own e-commerce website. If you're planning on doing one of the other e-commerce businesses, then do leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and maybe I'll go into more depth in a future video on another e-commerce business model. However, the very first thing you want to think about when selling products on your own site is making sure you have a solid niche, and you want to make sure you understand the needs, wants, and desires of the people within that niche as well. So I know you've heard it all of the time, niche down, make sure you pick a niche, but this is super important in e-commerce, because you don't want to be everything to everyone, because then you're going to be nothing to anyone. So you want to make sure that your products actually fit the needs of one specific demographic, of one specific niche. This is going to help you in many different ways. And the first way is dealing with your supplier. So whoever your supplier is, chances are if you're serving one niche, let's say for example you're selling baby clothes, then you probably only need maybe 1 or 2 suppliers at most. And if you're spending more money with only 1 or 2 suppliers, then this is going to mean that chances are they'll give you a discount, so your unit cost will go down. And this is going to be super important for you guys who are selling e-commerce products, because the cheaper you can get them in, then the more of a profit margin you can actually make and the more money you can spend on your marketing. So this is going to be super important for you to pick a niche, and also if you're in loads of different niches, it's going to be difficult for you to create an authoritative niche website that actually ranks well in the search engines. So Google love niche related websites, and if your website is niche focused, then chances are you're going to gain more organic traffic. As well as this, there's a difference between making a sale on your website and actually acquiring a customer. I speak about this a lot on this YouTube channel, but if someone comes to your website and they make a purchase and they realize, wait, there's a lot of other things here that I'm interested in as well, then they might buy more than one thing, and that helps you to increase your average order cart value, and also it increases the chances of that person coming back to your website and making additional purchases later on down the line. And that can be very lucrative for an e-commerce business, retaining your customers. So if you pick a really solid niche, again going back to my baby clothes example, if I have a baby and I come across your website and you're selling baby shoes, chances are maybe next week or next month I might want to come to your website and buy some baby hats, for example, and so on and so forth. So that can be a really lucrative way to get people coming back, making additional purchases, and also recommending your website as well. Now moving on to SEO specifically for e-commerce businesses. Now I will kind of be making a specific video on SEO for e-commerce very soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when that video goes out. But some of the considerations that you want to think about, whatever platform you are utilizing, you want to make sure that your theme is mobile friendly. So search engines are now thinking mobile friendly. So if your site is not usable on a mobile phone, chances are you're going to perform really poorly in the search engines. Now Google actually have a free tool that you can use to test how mobile friendly your website is, and I'll leave that link in the description down below. But another really important metric to how well your e-commerce site ranks in the search engines is actually how user friendly your website is. Is it easy for people to navigate from one page to another? Are you using fonts on your website that are easy to actually read? So often I see e-commerce websites using complicated fonts, and although it might look nice, it's difficult to read. You want to make sure that things are super easy, super simple. You're using high resolution images on your website as well, so people can quickly identify what products it is that they want to buy, that your descriptions are not confusing, that you specify exactly what someone's going to get when they click on a product page, and that it's easy as well to navigate through all of the pages. If it's difficult for people to navigate, chances are Google are going to spot this, and this is going to harm your ability to start ranking in the search engines. SEO is a lot more than just having your keywords in the right places. Even though you should be having your keywords in the right places, you want to make sure that you're creating a pleasurable user experience on your website. Now, when it comes to marketing your e-commerce website, there are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind. I speak a lot on this YouTube channel about warm traffic and cold traffic, and that is super important when it comes to e-commerce. So the chances of someone buying from your website the very first time they see an offer or they see a product is fairly slim. You might have to get in front of that person multiple times before they make a buying decision on your website. That being said, you want to make sure that you're tracking your website visitors either using the Google Tag Manager or the Facebook Pixel. Now, I've done a few videos recently on the Facebook Pixel, and I'm going to be doing a lot more, but you want to make sure that you have that installed on your website, or at least the Google Tag Manager. And what this will do is it will track people who come to your website, so you can actually serve up ads to people who have previously visited your e-commerce site, and these people are a lot more likely to actually make a buying decision on your site because they have at least one touch point with your business. This is one of the reasons why I also stress email marketing as well, because if you are doing email marketing, it's a great way to retain the data of your website visitors and market to them again later on down the line. And the more times you market to them, the more times they visit your website, then the more likely they are to actually make a purchase. You can also run remarketing campaigns with your email marketing list. And again, I'm going to be doing more videos and tutorials on that, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. So lastly, I wanted to touch on social media marketing for your e-commerce business. You really want to think about who your target customer is. Who is it that's actually going to buy your product, and where do they spend the bulk of their time online? Do they spend their bulk of their time on Instagram? Is it on Facebook? Is it on YouTube? Is it on Twitter? Make sure you're posting attractive pictures of your products on social media, but as well, if you understand and you know your target customer, then you can create content that will attract them in and appease them. So for example, you might be someone who sells anti-aging cream on your website. You might have tips and advice and strategies that people can utilize to help them to kind of decrease their aging, or maybe to improve their skin and stuff like that. People who are interested in that kind of information are probably also going to be interested in the product that you're selling on your e-commerce website. So if you're putting out that kind of useful information in the form of blog articles, in the form of posts on Instagram or on Facebook or on Pinterest or wherever your target customer is, then chances are over time you're going to build a following of people who are engaged in your content, and a percentage of those people will click the link in your bio, go through and actually purchase your product. One thing that you have to remember as well is that traffic that comes from social media and video marketing tends to convert a lot better than any other kind of traffic, simply because the people who come to your website from these platforms are normally your followers, people who trust you, people who've been following you for a little while, so they are a lot more likely to make buying decisions on your website. E-commerce is a huge business, and you can do really well selling your product online, whatever format you choose, whatever platform you choose, and whatever way you decide to market. I always recommend that people start off with two main platforms if they can. One free traffic method, one paid traffic method, and master those two for your e-commerce business before you start going on and learning other methods for your business. Otherwise, you can get very overwhelmed. So you might be focused on SEO and also on Google ads, or you might be focused on Instagram and also on Instagram ads. But you want to just make sure that at least at first you're focused in on two platforms, mastering those platforms, mastering those ways of driving traffic back to your website, and you can be extremely successful with that method. I also have the formula, guys, which is the free guide to driving traffic and conversions to your website. So if you haven't downloaded that already, make sure you go and grab yourself a copy. A copy, as you can see, is behind me. I'll also leave a link to it somewhere on this screen and in the description down below. If you're running an e-commerce business and you don't understand the formula to driving sales back to your website, then you 100% need to download that absolutely free. But I really do hope that this video brought you value, and if it did, then please click the like button down below and make sure you share this video with a friend. If you have any additional questions or comments, then leave them for me in the comment section. But until next time, watch some of my other great videos. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more awesome business related content. Have a great day, download the formula, and I will see you soon.